Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So this video shows police body slamming a 14-year-old black teen student. And so there's proof of the video showing of the abuse that happens. And so this happens a lot. Um, a lot of it is usually passed off as, oh, it's coincidental or it's isolated incidences. But too many of these incidences in kind or like have been happening a lot lately all over the country. So without further ado, I'm going to go over here to this. And so you can see the video shows police body slamming, and this kid was 14 years of age. This happened here recently in Louisiana. Okay, and so I'm going to go into this. Hopefully it'll show. So right now I think it's on a commercial.
Because we've seen a thing or two. We are partners. To the violent incident at a Louisiana middle school. First one officer, then two, appearing to body slam a 14-year-old. Those two officers are now off the force. They've been indicted, and ABC's Victor Akendo with the images tonight.
This disturbing video showing a student body slammed from inside the main office of a Louisiana middle school has two officers facing serious charges. Moments earlier, the 14-year-old student behind the counter, the officer a few feet away. He is manhandled, grabbed around the neck, and slammed to the ground. This was just the beginning. The two grappling on the floor. At one point, the officer appears to make a punching motion at the student. His holstered gun, picked up here by a school employee after coming loose. She moves it to a desk out of reach. Officer Anthony Dupree then picks the teen up in an apparent headlock and pounds him to the ground again before jumping on him. Watch as that employee again moves the gun out of the way. Another officer, Dan Cipriano, walks in. They handcuff the teen, stand him up straight, and then slam him face first on the counter before escorting him out. Tonight, the officers indicted on battery and malfeasance charges from the October incident. Both have resigned from the department. No reports the officers claim that student posed a threat. David?
Victor Akendo with us tonight. Victor, thank you.
And so I just wanted to add to that. I wanted to say that this has been happening a lot, and fortunately this is a situation where they were able to indict those two officers. Unfortunately, there have been a lot of incidences that have ended in gun violence to where black male has been killed, or they've been accused of something they didn't do and they were shot, and the officers usually walk. And so I guess with such frequent incidences like these happening, I believe the eyes of some people have opened to where they realize this is happening a lot more regular than normally thought. And so now people are starting to really look at it and pay attention and starting to take action. But more action needs to be taken, I would say. It's just unfortunate because now this 14-year-old boy, we don't know what all happened. It was said that they said he posed a threat. Did you see on the video where the 14-year-old looked like he was threatening? I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Maybe he had a bad mouth. Maybe he was disruptive in class. Maybe he didn't listen. He didn't follow the rules. But I didn't see any weapons the boy carried. Maybe he threatened he was going to bring something. We don't know. However, from looking at the video, the threats look more like the officers, because they like really just hurled at him, and then they flipped him over, and then they sat on him, and then they pummeled him and slammed him on the counter. That's what I saw. It looked like they were much more the threat than the kid. And looking at the size of the officers, I mean, that kid was really no match for the two of them. And so what are your thoughts and comment and feedback on this article, this incident, this video here? It's just sad because I don't believe that people really realize the severity of some of these incidences, but they have become prevalent all over. and even in the California area where there's been a lot of abuse of African Americans in this form. And so both officers in the Louisiana area have been indicted on the charges of the battery and malfeasance in the middle school incident. So I think there's been an outcry or an outpour of support for this kid. And a lot of people saw this video and it didn't really sit well with them. So what are your thoughts and feedback on this? I don't know if this repeats itself, but it's just sad to see these incidents happen so close together. And here we're in a time where we're going into a new year. And it just seems like some of the same old things that are happening, like racism and the hatred and the belittlement of African American people, it just seems like it has never really left. I don't think it ever really will. You know, too, with our leadership, I mean, what do you expect? You know, it just seems like it perpetuates it.
First one officer, then two, appearing to body slam a 14-year-old. Those two officers are now off the force. They've been indicted, and ABC's Victor Akenda with the images tonight.
This disturbing video showing a student body slammed from inside the main office of a Louisiana middle school has two officers facing serious charges. Moments earlier, the 14-year-old student behind the counter, the officer a few feet away. He is manhandled, grabbed around the neck, and slammed to the ground. This was just the beginning. The two grappling on the floor. At one point, the officer appears to make a punching motion at the student. His holstered gun, picked up here by a school employee after coming loose. She moves it to a desk out of reach. Officer Anthony Dupree then picks the teen up in an apparent headlock and pounds him to the ground again before jumping on him. Watch as that employee again moves the gun out of the way. Another officer, Dan Cipriano, walks in. They handcuff the teen, stand him up straight, and then slam him face first on the counter before escorting him out. Tonight, the officers indicted on battery and malfeasance charges from the October incident. Both have resigned from the department. No reports the officers claim that's...
So they both resign. So what are your thoughts and feedback on this issue? I mean, it's really sad, but this has happened over and over again, and people have made excuse after excuse for people, and some people have managed to walk. Some people are free right now after shooting Black teens and Black people. You know, it's not just teenagers. You know, there have been some adults that have been killed because they've been accused of something, or they didn't do something, or they looked like they were reaching for something. And so a lot of this has been happening. There's even been cruelty in the workplace to people of African American descent towards them. And somehow these people remain working. They keep their jobs. They don't, you know, they don't write them up. They don't do anything. You know, they're allowed to kind of get a pass. And this has happened quite a bit. And so now I guess people have had enough, you know. And so this right here was a clear-cut case of, you could see, I mean, enough of this. You know, you see it in the video. We're seeing it with our own eyes. There's no way around this. But it's a good thing that they actually followed up on this situation. It's just sad that there are others that happened before this, that these people have been allowed, or these people with this type of mentality have been allowed to walk free and get a job or remain employed, and they're never, you know, they're never given consequences for their actions. So what are your thoughts and feedback? Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for listening.